Namaste, welcome. Today's class is inspired by my own morning practice. These are the poses and movements I found myself returning to today, and I thought of sharing them with you. Take what serves you, modify as needed, and we will begin in Vajrasana. Now, for props, you don't need anything specific, but if you know you have tight hips, have a blanket handy. Tight hamstrings, a pair of blocks could be helpful, and if you have sensitive knees, some kind of cushion. So keep all your props handy, and if you don't have any props, don't worry about it, we will work around them or without them. So come into Vajrasana, and if this is bringing too much pressure on the ankles, either slide a blanket under your shins or come into Sukhasana. Resting the palms on your knees or thighs. Slowly close down the eyes. We'll take the first few moments to focus on the breath. That in turn will help us arrive into our practice. Let's begin with 3 cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale together. Then part the left side out. Couple of more. And return to breathing in and out through the nose. Perhaps bringing that audible quality in the breath. Cultivating our Ujjayi breathing by constricting the back of the throat. Final breath. Slowly blink the eyes open. Welcome back. Let's start with few rounds of cow and cat. So inhale, arch the spine, push the chest forward, maybe the chin lifts up. On the exhale round, tuck the chin, and you'll notice your palms will glide up and down on your thighs naturally. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, draw the elbows back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back. Eyes open or closed, flow for 3 more rounds. Last round. Come back to neutral spine. Let's take a twist to the right side. So hook the left hand outside the right leg, right hand behind you, lengthen and twist. At any time Vajrasana seems very difficult, please come into Sukhasana and you can twist there. Couple of more. Let's take one more breath. Move through center, other side. Final round. Come back center. One last thing here, bring your right hand by your side, left arm reaches up, and then side bend to your right side. Feel free to soften the top elbow and relax the bottom shoulder. Keep the chest nice and open. Another breath. Slowly return through center over to the other side. Final breath. Well done. We finally get to come out of this thunderbolt position. Face any short end of the mat and then tap the feet down. Well done. Let's curl the toes. We'll counter that stretch a little bit. We'll rock forward and back. So inhale, take the shoulders past the wrist any amount, and then exhale, send your hips towards the heels. You'll get a nice stretch in your feet. Inhale forward, we are warming up the wrist and the feet. Exhale back. Spine is neutral, nothing complicated here. Keep the fingers nicely spread. Last one, inhale forward and exhale back. Return to your table. This time come on tops of your feet again. We'll flow for few rounds of cat and cow with a hip movement. We call them log rolls or barrel rolls. I love them. So send the hips to one side, arch the spine, and as you complete that circle with the you'll round the spine. Continue in one direction. Soften the elbows. It's a wonderful movement to do, especially in the morning when the body doesn't feel quite open. You're carrying that energy from our sleep. And then the other way, this is a wonderful way to take the cranks out, wake up the body. Go for a couple of more rounds. Well done. Once you're complete with your final round, meet me in downward facing dog. So lift the knees and the hips up and back. You'll probably have to take a step back. And then begin to pedal out the legs. If this is your first down dog of the day, you need a little time to find a little space in your spine, your calves, your hamstrings. And then find stillness in your down dog. Have a generous bend in your knees. Push the chest back towards the legs to find length in your spine. Another breath. Wave forward into plank just for a beat. Shoulders over wrist. Lower the knees down. Let's arch the spine, setting up for our Ashtanga Namaskar. Exhale, slowly bring your chest down and then come into Sphinx pose as our first back bend. Bring the forearms forward, drawing the shoulders back to open the chest. Press through the tops of the feet. Pause here. Final breath. Bring the palms next to your chest. Press back into downward facing dog. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Anytime you feel like you need a break, please take child's pose. Don't have to do everything. Bend the knees, look towards your hands and begin to walk towards your hands. You could also come up on your finger pads to make space for the legs and then fold here. Again, softness in the knees as much as needed. Use blocks under the hands if the floor seems too far, and then begin to pedal out the legs here. Bending one knee, then the other. You could always place hands on your shins to do this. Just opening the back of the legs a little more. This feels quite yummy in the mornings. Bend through the right knee, fold, pause, slightly shift the weight towards your toes, and then switch. Left knee bends, right leg straightens. Soften through both knees, one vertebrae at a time. Meet me in Tadasana. Take your time. Rolling the shoulders back once we come to the top a couple of times. Very nice. Bring your feet hip width apart if they are not. On the inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus out the arms, open the chest. Inhale, arms go overhead, we tuck the tailbone slightly. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Arch the spine. Last round, inhale, arms reach up. Feel free to bend the elbows as much as needed. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, lower down. Half lift, hands can press into shins or thighs. And then step the right foot back for your low lunge. Now again, if the right knee feels sensitive, use a cushion under the knee. I'm going to use it. And then rise up. Arms will reach up. Pause here in your low lunge. Take another breath. Left hand on left hip. If you have a block, you could place the left hand on a block next to the hip and then side bend to the left side. If you have a wall next to your mat, like me, the left hand can actually be placed on the wall too, and you get a really nice stretch. Or a piece of stable furniture. Another breath. Slowly rise up. We'll find warrior two legs. So you're going to kickstand the right ankle behind the knee and then line up your left heel with the right knee. Left knee is pointing towards the short end of the mat and we'll just rock back and forth. Again, a great stretch for our inner thighs. Couple of more. Just finding whatever range we can. And then lean forward and pause here. So the left knee is pointing forward, but your chest is facing the side. Pause here. Another breath. Slowly rise up. We'll find our gate pose legs. So your left toes will face the long end of the mat. Right hand can stay on the right hip, left arm will go up. We side bend. If you know your right hand can reach the mat, go for it. Push the hips forward. Create a nice long line in your side body. Again, that block could come in handy to place under the right hand if we have it. Two more breaths. Another one. Slowly rising up, we'll face the short end of the mat again. Take your time. And then meet me in downward facing dog. Lifting the back knee, we step back. Now you have the option to take a vinyasa in between. You could join me or stay in down dog or go into child's pose. If you're doing vinyasa, come into plank, knees come down, arch the spine, ashtanga. Inhale, you could take cobra as back bend, then downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look towards your hands. This time you could step forward or even hop if you feel warm enough. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, we fold again. This time we will step the left foot back for our low lunge. Take your time to set up. We are not in a rush here. Rise up. Arms come up. And even after coming into the pose, you feel like there are any teeny tiny adjustments you need to make, please go for it. Right hand on right hip, side bend to the right side. I often say that it's good to have props, but if you don't have them, that's fine too. You can always find some ways to find movement in your body. That should not be a reason to not practice. Slowly rise up and then we'll go for a warrior two, modified warrior two leg position. I'm gonna be facing away from you guys. Slowly rock back and forth. Rock forward and pause. Notice the stretch in your inner thighs, your groin. Check with the right knee. Sometimes it buckles in. Make sure it's pointing to the direction of the toes. And then find your gate pose legs. Extend the right leg, pointing the right toes towards the other side of the long end of the mat. And then we side bend to the left side. Left hand can remain on the left hip, or it could come down. Pick a place where you feel stable. Push the hips forward. Pressing down through the outer edges of the right foot. I just caught myself lifting them up. Another breath. Slowly rise up. We will all meet in downward facing dog. Again, take your time. Move with care, move with awareness. Option for a vinyasa. You could always take chaturanga. Don't have to take ashtanga. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Just take a couple of more breaths, deepening our down dog if we can. Another breath. Now, if you do have blocks, I would suggest you to place them either side of the mat. So I'm lowering down my knees briefly and placing the blocks within arm's reach. If you don't have them, don't worry, I'll give you options. We return back to downward facing dog. Placing the left foot in between the hands for our low lunge, we lower the back knee down. Cushion the back knee if you need to. If you don't have blocks, hands could come either side of the left foot. If you feel like your hips need more space, you could bring both hands inside the left leg and heel toe the left foot to the left side and do the movements that we are going to do. Next, I'm using blocks. Helps to lift up your spine a little. Inhale, stay in your lunge. Exhale, send the hips back. Lengthen the front leg, the left leg. And feel free to move your hands or your blocks closer to you while you're doing this movement. Also increase the height of the blocks if you need to. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Listen to what your body is telling you and take modifications and options as needed. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana or half split. Curl the left toes for some extra love in your calf. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pause this time. If you have the space, you could move the blocks or your hands away from you for your half split. This time we'll hold. Lunge to half split is one of my favorite movement to wake up the body. It's like a staple in my personal practice. Another breath. Rebend the knee. We'll lift the back knee, go into down dog. Again, option for a vinyasa. From down dog, we'll step the right foot forward this time. It's okay if the foot doesn't come forward in one step. Please feel free to take multiple steps. Once you find your lunge, this lunge is a little bit deeper. As you know, you may have noticed I moved my left knee back to deepen the stretch in my left psoas. If you're able to do that, go for it. Inhale, we lunge. Exhale, we extend the right leg. This is my tighter side. I notice a little shake in my right hamstring. There's a tendency to lean into the left hip once the right leg is forward when we straighten the leg. So notice if you're doing that. The body is very smart, or rather the mind. It figures out a way to escape the hard work. Exhale, extend and pause here. Hands could be anywhere close to you, further away from you, on blocks, on the mat, either side of the right foot or both hands inside the right foot. All options are available to you. Right knee can be soft, that's perfectly fine. Another breath. Rebend the knee. Lift the back knee. This time we'll go into down dog and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Maybe you create more space between your hands and feet. Now that the body would be a little bit open than when we started. A little more arch in the spine if we can, a little more length in the legs if we can. Move the chest back, try lifting your toes wherever you are, even if the heels are not touching the mat. 2 more breaths. Another one. Bend the knees, look towards your hands, make your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Half left, we inhale, long spine, exhale, we fold, inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, lower the hands down, we'll face the long end of the mat. I'm going to move my blocks away, you could do the same. Come into a wide stance. 3.5 to 4 feet depending on how long your legs are. Slightly turn the toes in and heels out. Place the hands on the hips. Draw the elbows back. Puff up the chest, so that arch, that cow back. Inhale, look up perhaps. Exhale, fold halfway where the spine is parallel to the floor. You can sense it. Pause there. If you feel out of balance, please lower the hands down. Otherwise, stay with me. Continue to squeeze the elbows towards each other and continue to fold towards the mat, hands free. Once you feel like you've reached your edge, release the hands down and then fold. To avoid rounding the spine, continue to seek for that cow back. Continue to articulate your back in that shape. One more breath. Come on your finger pads, begin to heel to the feet in. We are coming into Malasana. Heels will come in, toes will turn out, just briefly. If the heels don't quite reach the mat, you could either slide blanket under the heels or keep the heels elevated. Hands can come in front of you for support, or they could come in front of the heart. Close down the eyes, relax the shoulders. We've come towards the end of our practice. We'll do some seated poses and then get ready to get on our backs towards Shavasana. Another breath. With the support of the hands, lower yourself down and face any short end of the mat. Now, if you have that blanket handy, you could slide it under your seat, totally optional. Extend the legs long. Maybe we want to shake them out a little. And then let's bend the right knee, drop the right knee to the side. Place the right sole of the foot on the inside of the left thigh for our Janu Shirshasana legs. If we know our hamstring, left hamstring is tight, you could even slide the right leg under the leg. That helps you in bending the left knee a little bit. Curl the toes, slowly begin to walk forward, and once you find your edge, you stop there. So maybe you'll be able to grab your toes, maybe you won't. Wherever you are, find length in your spine again and fold any amount. You could either look towards your toes or tuck the chin, let the head go. Don't force anything here. Let the stretch come to you. The more we practice, the more we can figure out what that means. Another breath. Slowly rise up. Bend the left knee. Move the right foot a little to the left side so the ankles are in front of each other or in line with each other. Right hand outside the left leg, left hand behind you. Lengthen and twist. Now you could go deeper by wrapping the right forearm around the left knee. Continue to twist here. Feel free to close down the eyes. Another breath. Return back center. Now my favorite pose, which I feel I struggle with a lot, but I know it's good for me. I have tight hips. We'll go for Agni Stambhasana. So move the right ankle a little bit more towards the left side. You could bring it closer to the left hip to create space. And then place your left ankle on top of the right thigh. If you have very open hips, your shins could line up on top of each other. Otherwise, bring the bottom heel close to you to access this pose. You'll feel an intense stretch in the left outer hip. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Stay here if this is enough. Otherwise, lean forward. The weight of the upper body helps you to go deeper in the stretch. There's a lot of heat that we build in this pose. Just breathe. Another breath. Slowly rise up. We will extend both legs. You can do that by leaning back. Shake out the legs again, and we'll repeat all these poses, 3 poses on the other side, starting with Janu Shishasana. Left sole of the foot inside the right leg. Curl the right toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Begin to walk forward. Any grip. And know that the more time you spend in a pose, the deeper you can get. So don't expect to find your deepest expression in the first breath or as you arrive. Give yourself time. And some days the body works with you, some day it just doesn't happen. So we keep that into account too. Another breath. Slowly rising up. For our seated twist, we bend the right knee, move the left leg a little to the side. We take any variation. Another breath. Return back center. Let's go for that fire log Agni Stambhasana. There's a little bit of maneuvering we need to do if we have tight hips. I know some people can just land in this pose like a piece of cake. If that's you, good for you. Bring the right shin parallel to the short end of the mat and move the left heel close to the right hip or away from it, depending on the space in your hips. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you fold forward any amount. Just embrace the sensations that come in this pose. Know that if we are struggling in a certain pose, you could always come out of it briefly and then revisit it. There's no right or wrong way of doing our practice. So we don't want to have any ideas that this is how it should be. Once we free ourselves from those expectations, there's freedom and that element of playfulness, exploration in our practice. One more breath. Slowly rise up. I felt that. Extend the legs. Shake the legs out. We will come on our backs. If you have that blanket, you can use it as a pillow to support the back of the head. Keep the knees bent. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Tee out the arms if you have the space, else cactus out the arms. And then begin to drop your knees to one side and then the other. This time we'll drop the knees to the left side. I like to scoot the hips a little to the right. And then option to turn the head to the right side. Close down the eyes. Inviting that stillness in the body. Steadiness in our breath. some sense of calm in our mind. Final breath. Head comes back center first, then the knees. We scoot the hips to the left, drop the knees to the right. Finally, option to turn the head to the left side. This is again one of my favorite poses to do on the back. Final breath. Return the head back center, the knees, readjust the hips. We'll take one final pose before Shavasana, Punvayu Muktasana. If you practice with me or have practiced with me, this is my pose before Shavasana always. You don't have to lift the head, neck and shoulders. Inhale to squeeze, give yourself some love. Exhale, release the head down. Knees could stay bent or you could extend them for Shavasana. If you have the time, I would encourage you to not skip Shavasana from your practice. Resting the palms on the belly or next to the legs. Close down the eyes if they aren't already. Give yourself a moment or two to settle here. You could join me with one final cleansing breath. Inhale and then sigh out. And as you spend the next few moments here, continue to let go. Let go in the body, the breath, the mind. Becoming a witness, a watcher. Let's begin to deepen our breath. Wiggling the fingers, the toes. Option for a full body stretch, bringing the legs together, pointing the toes, taking the arms overhead, lengthening out. And when we bend the knees, we roll onto any side into our fetal position, pausing for a moment. On the next breath, gather yourself up. You could return back to Vajrasana where we started, or take any other position. Take your time. Bringing the palms to touch in front of the heart. Taking a pause. Palms to our forehead. We gently bow, rubbing the palms into each other, and then placing those warm palms around the eyes, the face, gently blinking the eyes open with a smile. Thank you for practicing with me today. This was my practice this morning, and I hope it brought you what you needed today. Take this feeling with you into the rest of your day. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep showing up for your practice one breath at a time. Namaste.